Witchcraft is one of the oldest spiritual practices on earth, and at its core, it is beautifully simple. It is the art of shaping reality through intention, energy, and conscious relationship with the natural and unseen worlds. Long before the word witch existed, humans lived in deep harmony with the cycles of the land, the moon, the seasons, and the forces that flowed through the world. They understood that everything was alive, everything was energy, and everything responded to awareness. The craft is not about theatrics or superstition. It is the skill of directing energy with clarity. It is the remembrance that your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your connection to nature all weave together into magic, not fantasy magic, but the real, ancient practice of influencing the subtle layers of reality. To understand witchcraft, you must first understand that energy is the foundation of everything. Every person, plant, stone, storm, emotion, and intention carries a frequency. When you work with that frequency consciously, you become a practitioner of the craft. When you work with it unconsciously, you are still influencing reality, just without awareness. Witchcraft is the difference between reacting to life and engaging with life. It invites you to reclaim your role not just as an observer, but as a creator. For many generations, witchcraft was misunderstood or feared because it gave power back to the individual. The church, the state, and patriarchal systems saw that as dangerous. But witchcraft was never evil, it was simply empowerment in its raw form. It taught people to heal with herbs, to read weather patterns, to sense energy, to pray in ways that move the unseen, to speak to the land and listen for guidance. These practices survived, quietly, through grandmothers, midwives, healers, and mystics, until the world was finally ready to recognize them again. The resurgence of witchcraft today is not an accident. It is part of a collective awakening. People are remembering that intuition, nature, and energy are not luxuries, they are birthrights. The modern witch doesn't need a coven, a robe, or an elaborate ritual. The modern witch needs awareness, intention, and a relationship with the forces of nature that speak through wind, water, fire, earth, spirit, and the rhythms of life. Witchcraft is deeply personal. No two witches practice the same way because no two witches are connected to the world in the same way. Your craft is shaped by your experiences, your ancestry, your intuition, and the elements that call to you. Some witches feel guided by the moon. Others feel the pulse of the earth. Others work with herbs, candles, energy, divination, or dreams. Whatever awakens your power becomes part of your magic. To walk this path, begin with awareness. Notice how nature speaks to you. Notice how the air feels before a storm. Notice how your intuition nudges you. Notice the way your energy shifts around people or places. Notice the cycles in your life that repeat. Witchcraft begins with noticing. When you are present, the world reveals its patterns to you. You might begin to feel the quiet connection between your emotions and the atmosphere around you. You might notice that your intention influences outcomes more than luck ever did. You might feel energy move when you focus, breathe, or ground yourself. These subtle sensations are not imagination, they are the first signs of energetic sensitivity returning. Most people numb these senses over time. Witches refine them. Witchcraft invites you to reconnect, to the earth, to your intuition, to your energy, and to the unseen currents that flow through all things. When you reconnect, magic stops being something you do, and becomes something you live. It becomes the way you move through the world, with intention, with awareness, with sovereignty, and with respect for the forces of nature that you are in partnership with. As you begin this journey, allow yourself curiosity. Allow yourself to remember. Allow yourself to feel the ancient part of your soul that recognizes these teachings as truth. The craft is not new to you, it is something you have touched before, in other lifetimes, other lineages, or in moments of intuitive knowing that you brushed aside. Witchcraft does not ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be present. It asks you to be attuned. It asks you to honor yourself, the earth, and the energies you work with. And it asks you to step into your power with humility, wisdom, and integrity. This is the path of the witch, the path of energy, intention, and alignment with the living world. And as you walk it, you will discover that magic has always been here, waiting for you to remember.